everyone, I'm that Amy girl, and we are heading into another Main Street, Maryland, Main Street America accredited community, and that is Westminster, Maryland. And I'm just about to head out to the Main Street and walk some of, probably not all of, the Main Street. Welcome to my world. Won't you please come on in? Alright, so here we have it. We're in downtown Westminster. This is off of Railroad Avenue. As you can see, the railroad behind there. And then Main Street is where I'll be walking in a moment. I just happened to see these signs and wanted to take a peek. Alright, and so you'll notice here that this is on the Maryland Civil War trails. So Westminster originally was founded by William Winchester in the late 1700s. I want to say 1763, but I'll probably have to correct that. And it was also utilized as a supply base during the Civil War. And so the location here is going to have a lot about the Civil War and people who were part of that, and leading in, all of that led into the base here to Gettysburg. And Gettysburg is not actually that far from here, really. Anyway, so that's what these appear to be talking about, divided loyalties. And you can definitely pause that if you'd like. And then the Westminster Depot. During the Civil War, railroads for the first time attained strategic importance for transporting troops and equipment. So. And again, you can pause the screen if you'd like to read that. I'll leave it there for a moment. And we are going to head on to Main Street. We're going to walk across the railroad tracks here. And then we'll start to see some of the businesses here. We're on East Main Street right now. So the attorney's office here. Chamber of Commerce over there. I most likely won't do the walk up one side and walk back, because this is a pretty big main street. And unfortunately I'm short on time today. So we'll do what we can and I'll show what I can. But there's a lot of history here in Westminster, Maryland. Pretty cute little town as well. Some more of the shops. There's a cute little mural across the street, so we're going to check that out in a second. Alright, and here you'll see some information about things going on in town. This is a pretty cool mural. Basically like a map. Also, you'll see Carroll County, that's where we are. Westminster is the seat, Carroll County. That's a really cool mural. So it's kind of hot out here today. Surprisingly hot. But I guess that's to be expected. We are hitting the summer months. Alright. So I have switched street sides mainly to see that mural. but also to show you the shops. There weren't as many shops where I was walking. And so here is a sign for some history related information. Very interesting that first complete county rural free delivery service in the US started here in Westminster. So prior to that, farms could not get mail directly brought to them, and now after that they were able to, and I say we, I don't live here, but I live close by. I've lived here so many years, so much of my life, that I'll say we, but they were the first. Over there we have a pretty big place that's a lot of people like to go to, is Liquid Library. There's a flower shop over there. So you see, it's a pretty busy area. And a pretty awesome, very quaint. I don't know if quaint's the right word, but I really like the downtown here. I really just love the buildings. Love the atmosphere here. Westminster is just a great place to go find some really good eateries, coffee shops, lots of really nice places here. And of course, there's the history. So and also, I believe, I'm pretty sure some parts of Main Street here are also residential. And this is the antique store, East Main, and Fine Furnishings. I really like this by the church, the bell. Get a better view of it here in a second. And this is just outside the church here. It's pretty humid out here today. I think it's 80 degrees, but I'm already kind of sweating. I haven't even walked really that far. Maybe I don't even know. I stopped paying attention to how many blocks I was walking, maybe 5 or 6. I have a specific few destinations in mind that I want to show for sure. So I'm trying to make sure I get to those before I decide to end my walk of Main Street. But it's a pretty hot day today. Okay, and across the street here, let me get over here. Okay, across the street we have the Sherman Fisher Shellman Museum, which I believe is open. I may stop in. First I'm going to cross the street, see if we can read the historical plaques. The museum doesn't appear to be open. I just kind of peeked in as I walked by. It appears to be all dark inside. But outside the museum, they have these historical plaques again, Civil War related. And Votes for Women, Mary B. Shellman, community leader in 1913, founding president, Carroll County, Just Government League, educated voters here in 1920. And then we have Mary Shellman's legacy. And you can pause that to read if you so desire. I'm just walking by the Sherman Fisher Shellman house here, and then next door to that we have the Kimmy house, which possibly may be open. Looks like there's some lights on. We'll check it out. Alright, so it looks like the visitor center is around back and to the left. So that is what we're going to try and do here. See what we can see. Okay, so inside there is basically a library with historical information, and you can do research there. You have to have an appointment. You can walk in, but they prefer you have an appointment. They did tell me that the building next door will be opening July 9th, and there will be historical exhibits there. So that's something to look out for if you're headed this way or live this way. And you can also do tours of the Shellman house. You can request ahead, and sometimes you can walk in and get it. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that today, but that's okay. I might make an appointment and come back on another day. Most likely I probably will. I walked a good distance. Most of what I just walked past was residential, so I didn't record, but I'm in front of the Carroll Mart, where you'll see another historical sign. Here, June 29, 1863, Captain Charles Corbett led Company C&D 1st Delaware Cavalry against General J.E.B. Stewart's Cavalry Division. Though repelled by overwhelming force, the attack delayed Stewart and was a fact in his failure to reach Gettysburg Battlefield before July 2nd. It still seems pretty interesting to me to really think how much history I have driven past, walked past so many years. Okay, so now we're going to head through West Main Street. We did East Main Street, and I kind of think that maybe when I said it earlier that I said I was doing West Main Street, but that was East. Now I'm headed west, and here we go. More shops this way. You see the furniture store there. I really like the milk jugs. Check those out with the eagles. Those are pretty cool. Shops across the street. It's a baking company across the street there. Also really good. breeze feels really, really good right now. Right, I'm gonna cross up here, and then while I'm waiting to cross the street, we have this here. It says sprouts representing hope, determination, cooperation, and growth. Sculpture by Thomas Sterner. Local here to Westminster. Alright, now I'm gonna need to cross the street again, but I wanted to show you the building from across the street because when you're right up on it, it's a little difficult to do that. We have American Ice Company Cafe. This building dates back to the 1830s. And across the street from American Ice Company is Rock Salt Grill, where they have, in my opinion, of course, the best, the biggest crab cakes. Absolutely delicious. If you were here, you most definitely, and you like seafood, you most definitely should stop by. Have to stop here. Just a little bit further. And you can probably already see up there the marquee. But we'll get a little closer and get a better look at it. Here we have the Carroll Arts Center. And those are some events coming up in the area. We got Ernie's Place over here. Look at the cow. That's great. I love it. It's handmade treasures. Neat. Looks like we have a framing shop across the street. This is sort of like in the middle of things, but I wanted to show it to you if I can get a good angle on it. Here we go. And this is a memorial dedicated to men and women of Westminster who have served in the armed forces. So after that point, it kind of gets a little more back into residential, which I passed a few residences on the way. I'm going to show you, there's the framing store we're walking past it now. Some nice artwork there. We were across the street, so I'm just walking back the other way now. And this is the art center. The ticket window. Old school ticket window. Old school. They got a grooming shop here. A salon and a barber shop. And up ahead you'll see again the Civil War Trails sign. If you go into the visitor center it's on Center Street, not on Main, I do believe they give out pamphlets there for the different things you may be interested in, including the Civil War Trail. It tells you different stops along the way that you can check out. It's pretty cool. These window displays are great. Look at this. I was just walking back and so I had to cross the street because I saw something. But also, these window displays are great. The Cultivated Boutique. Yes. And a jeweler. And then on the other side of the jeweler, as I was walking back, I noticed this artwork. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic? That is amazing. I love, love, love it. And it looks like the artist is Shannon Scott. Signed there in the left-hand corner. Right by the Black Eyed Susans. Really beautiful. Well, that does it for Westminster. I showed you as much as I could, and I hope that you were able to see some of the shops even when I couldn't say what they were due to the traffic or just location of where I was at the moment. I did my best in the time that I had. Sorry that it is as quick as it is, but I hope you like it anyway. There will be some more coming in a couple weeks from another Main Street America town. Until then, go chase your dreams. Isn't this cute? Burgerland. Love it. How cute.